I'm Mike DeLong, and I've gathered all the new movies coming to streaming in one place so you don't have to. This video is posting a little bit later than my previous streaming videos have. I felt that in the past I've missed movies that have come out, but I'm not entirely convinced that this move is necessary. Let me know when you prefer these videos to come out. Without further ado, let's see what's coming out in April. As always, we're starting with Netflix. On the 1st, Baba, a Malaysian film from last year, came out, and Nimesh Patel, Instant Karma, a comedy special. On the 2nd, we have a French film called Banger. Picture this: a washed-up DJ gets recruited by the CIA to take out another DJ? Why does French intelligence care about beef between DJs? It'd be like if the CIA hired Drake to take down Kendrick Lamar. On the 9th, we have The Dad Quest. It's a Mexican film where a father and son go on a trip to find out the truth of their paternity. Is this produced by Maury Povich? You are the father! On the 10th, we have Frozen Hot Boys. It's a Thai comedy about a group of students joining a Japanese snow sculpting competition. On the 12th, we have another Thai movie, How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies. A man quits his job to care for his elderly grandmother, hoping to inherit her money. On the 18th, I Hostage is a Dutch thriller based on true events. Finally, on the 21st, we have something that I think is worth watching, Pangolin Kula's Journey. It's a documentary about a man who rescues a pangolin from being trafficked and tries to rehab it and release it back in the wild. On the 23rd, we have a Japanese high-speed action movie called Bullet Train Explosion. And finally, on the 25th, we have Havoc. Tom Hardy needs to try to rescue a politician's son, but finds conspiracy and corruption throughout the city. I hope this movie is good, because the rest of the movies on Netflix seem like real stinkers. Next up is Hulu. On the 1st, a horror movie from last year called Oddity came out. It's about a psychic who tries to solve her sister's murder. On the 4th, Classified comes out. Aaron Eckhart is a CIA operative who receives his orders through the classified section of newspapers, but finds out that his division's been shut down for years. I feel like this movie is 30 years too late. Who uses the classified section of a newspaper? That's what ZipRecruiter and Craigslist are for. What is this? On the 5th, we have The World According to Ailey Willis. It's a documentary about songwriter and artist Ailey Willis, who's been documenting her life for the last 70 years. On the 8th, we have Small Things Like These. A father discovers that a local convent is keeping secrets based on a book by the same name. On the 10th, we have Nico, Beyond the Northern Lights. This is an animated movie about a reindeer who wants to try to work for Santa. And on the 11th, Magpie, a psychological thriller from last year with Daisy Ridley. On the 15th, Lake George comes out. It's a crime thriller from last year. A man gets out of jail and has to do one last job to get the money he's owed. On the 18th, The Order comes out. It's a crime drama from last year based on a true story with Jude Law and Nicholas Hoult. An FBI agent believes that local crimes are being caused by domestic terrorists. We have a couple more horror movies coming out. On the 22nd, In a Violent Nature. It's a slasher movie where an evil spirit is resurrected to retrieve a locket that was stolen from its gravesite. Finally, on the 29th, we have Ernest Cole, Lost and Found. It's a documentary about the first black freelance photographer in apartheid South Africa with Lakeith Stanfield. Next up is Max. For all you Ted Lasso fans out there, there's a comedy special coming out from Brett Goldstein called The Second Best Night of Your Life. Doesn't have an exact release date, but it should come out this month. On the 4th, Y2K comes out. It's a horror comedy about the last party before the new millennium. On the 7th, we have what seems like a weird one coming out. It's called 2073. It's part dystopian thriller, part documentary. A woman looks back to 2024 to find out what destroyed the world. On the 19th, we have another comedy special coming out from Sal Vulcano called Terrified. On the 25th, Baby Girl comes out. It's an erotic thriller from last year starring Nicole Kidman. She's a high-powered CEO who risks everything when she starts an affair with a young intern. I've heard that this is Nicole Kidman's best work in a while, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. If you're liking this video, please like and subscribe. Share it on your socials so your friends don't miss out on any new movies too. Next up is Prime. I'm doing something a little bit different with Prime because I know that I've missed a lot of movies that came out last month. And a lot of movies that I had on my videos last month are only available to rent or buy. So let's look back at what came out in March. On the 4th, Smile 2 came to Prime. It's a horror sequel from last year. I saw this on a different streaming service and really enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as the first one, and I knew where it was going to end up, but it was a good follow-up. On the 7th, Poor Things came out. It's an Oscar-winning movie that came out very early 2024 that I really loved, but it's not for everyone. On the 18th, Twisters came to Prime. It was a sequel to the 1996 movie Twister that's not really a sequel. On March 20th, Tyler Perry's Duplicity came out. It's about a high-powered attorney who is investigating the death of her best friend's husband. On the 25th, Transformers 1 came to Prime. It's an animated movie from last year that got good reviews, but didn't look that good to me. Who believes that Optimus Prime and Megatron were friends when they were kids, but now they fight each other to the death? Ridiculous. Now let's take a look at what I believe is coming to Prime this month. On the 4th, Marked Men. Can a tattoo artist and a pre-med student with opposite personalities have a healthy relationship without destroying each other? You can find out in this movie. On the 10th, G20, an action thriller with Viola Davis where terrorists take over the G20 summit. Also on the 10th, a Hindi drama called Bhul Chuk Maaf. On the 17th, we have Siege at Thorn High. It's an Indonesian movie about a school for troubled teens in the midst of social upheaval. On the 24th, we have Ash, a sci-fi horror thriller. A woman wakes up on an alien world to find that the crew of her space station was viciously killed. And finally, on the 29th, my favorite movie from last year, Nosferatu, comes to Prime. Next up is Peacock. On the 2nd, we have Aftermath. The Dylan Sprouse action thriller that came to Netflix in February is now on Peacock. And on the 4th, Girl You Know It's True comes out. It's about the rise and fall of Milli Vanilli. We have Paramount Plus next. On the 1st, we have Before Dawn, a World War I movie from Australia. And on the 21st, The Return. Odysseus returns from his quest to save his wife and his kingdom, with Ralph Fiennes and Juliette Binoche. I have some conflicting information about the next two movies. I saw them on one list a week or so ago, but when I looked it up again earlier this week, they weren't there. So you might see Smile 2 on Paramount Plus on the 15th, and Terrifier 3 may come out on the 25th. Let's wait and see. The only movie coming out to Disney Plus this month should attract a lot of millennials. On the 7th, Not Just a Goof comes out. It's a documentary about the cult classic, A Goofy Movie. And we have no new movies coming out on Apple TV. That's all we have for this month. Let me know if you prefer these videos to come out at the end of the month, or if you like them at the beginning of the month instead. And what should I do with Prime? Should it just be a look back at the previous month's movies, or should I try to tell you what's coming up? Check out my February and Best Picture Roundup videos. My next video will be a roundup of everything I watched in March. Thanks, and we'll see you again soon.